booties for black girl nerds.
Well, you look beautiful. Did you do your makeup?
Thank you. Yeah, I did.
Some people are just really good at it.
It's just one of those kind of quarantine things because
There's been a lot of that.
Wear that much. I hardly wore makeup at all before this.
People are doing fun things with makeup. I got after my nails. That's what I did in quarantine. But a lot of people were learning how to braid their own hair.
Yeah. Now
I was like, ooh, we are bored.
I need to learn that. I have a 16-year-old, and if I haven't learned that in 16 years, it's not going to happen. You look very beautiful as well. I love
thank you.
Your background, and you match your background. You look so pretty.
Yay, thanks.
Miss Amber Ruffin, when I tell you that I have had some good kikis over the past 3 episodes of your show, I have enjoyed it tremendously. I just want you to know that I too today have $20 more than the president.
Hey, feels good.
It feels good not to be over $400 million in debt. I can handle my little debt after hearing that, but I appreciate your humor so much. You are so intelligent and so sharp with how you're presenting it, and it's so different than what we've seen before.
Thank you.
When you're crafting these type of things now, I know you're accustomed to with your writer's background and there being a crowd. The crafting of a joke is different when you're expecting it to land with an audience as opposed to it just being you and Tarek. How has that process changed for all of you in the writer's room and going out there and performing these, this real poignant, timely humor without an audience present to sound off against?
It feels crazy, but it's also great because usually an audience will tell you what was good and what was bad, but now no one's there to tell us what was good and what was bad. So in my mind, I have replaced the space in between jokes with just uproarious laughter and standing ovations. So in my head, I'm killing it. But it's absolutely silent. But that's the good part is you really stay yourself. Usually when you perform, an audience shapes you and you become the thing audiences like. But the Amber Ruffin Show is going to stay whatever we feel like for, who knows however long. So that's the fun part, and also like probably not the best for us.
Even without the audience, I really was getting into, and I was getting a feel with you guys with the cadence and how to expect the joke to land. And it was really, really funny. One of the jokes and it was so simplistic and it really tickled me was the whole thing about the astronauts breaking the toilet. That was so hilarious to me. I laughed at that. I had to pause and walk away and just think about these guys floating around saying, who broke it? You broke it? No, you broke it. And I thought, how clever that something like that crowd fleet. It's a real list. It's a real thing. There was no lies told. Somebody broke the toilet. How do those things even come to you? I'm so intrigued by the comedic mind because, I think people who think they're funny, like I think I'm funny, are really not funny. It's a different skill set when you perform for people. How does that process come to your mind? Do you just lay in bed at the ceiling and like, you know what? These astronauts are hella funny. They broke the toilet.
I do. I sit around and I will, as I drift off to bed, I'll go, you know what would be great is if I sang a song because I found $20 on the ground and was like, I'm $20 richer than Donald Trump. You wake up and you write it down a little bit, you go back to sleep. But it is like that. It now we feel like whatever makes us laugh, like when I think Jenny wrote that joke, was like, these 2 astronauts were like, meh. I laughed so hard when I read that joke. And I thought, that is so silly. I guess we're allowed to do it because I'm in charge. And all these jokes can be as goofy as they want. So yeah, we are probably doing more goofy things than we would if we had an audience.
How does it feel for you performing on Peacock? It's a wonderful opportunity. You know, you get a lot more probably creative freedom than you would than on, you know, the traditional NBC platform. As an artist and a creator, how has that been for you to try out new things, to expand the type of comedy you do? What's that been like for you?
It feels crazy for sure, because there are like, not that there were a lot of rules at NBC either, but now to have there be like, no, not even like rules of structure. Like anything can be a song, anything can be a video, anything can be a sketch. So it is like a teensy bit overwhelming, because everything is an option. So at first it was big and scary, and now that is extremely fun. Like now it feels exciting, whereas before I thought, oh geez, am I going to do the right thing and blah blah blah. And again, that this confidence you get with not having an audience, buddy.
It's a different lane for you for sure. I mean, folks are very familiar with your work on HBO and you know, on the Seth Meyers show, but now you get to blaze your own trail again, you know, and be a trendsetter and do these different things. Is there a different type of pressure or any pressure at all when you go from being the first and then almost like being the first again?
I didn't really think of that like that, but not especially, because I think now there has been a lot of like Black shows and Black centric comedies, and also Black people in late night. So it doesn't feel like you're the only person and you're the measure. You know, when you get into a white space, people go, okay, however this person acts is how all Black people act, and that's how I'm judging you. Like you don't feel like that. And having that pressure gone, whew, is fantastic. So I do feel a little free.
I love your freedom. Your freedom is highly kiki worthy. We get to enjoy you in kind of like these 30, and the show's about 30 minutes. It runs about 30 minutes on the Peacock platform, and you get to do all these different things. You're singing and dancing. There's no guests, and there's all these fun things that you need to do. Are there jokes? How much do you film that ultimately ends up on the writing on the floor, on the cutting room floor? How much of that time ends up there?
Everything we film, we show, because
Oh.
it's Peacock and we can be longer or shorter, and they'll just show us anyway. But what we write, it's a lot. We write way more than we could ever possibly shoot. And we have started to kind of put up bits online, because it's a wealth of comedy. And we only have Jenny and I. Jenny is the head writer who does Jokes Seth Can't Tell with me on Late Night with Seth Meyers. Jenny and I only have 3 writers, and the amount of sketches and bits and songs and stuff we have. Like there are like 5 songs we have. We just don't have space for it right now. We might end up with a friggin' Christmas album. Who knows? That's not a bad idea.
I was gonna say that's a great idea.
That's not a bad idea.
I mean, the 20 more than Donald Trump, it got me thinking about Hamilton, and it just kind of thinking of all the different ways that you could go if you did a whole Christmas. I mean, look at some of the stuff from, say, like Saturday Night Live that turned into big cult, you know, anthems and songs like D in a Box and all those kind of things. I think the world is ready for an Amber Ruffin comedy Christmas album. I'm with it.
Oh, when it comes out, you can be like, I helped her come up with that.
I know, we were just kind of vibing and spoke it into the universe, and then boom, she got down, and next thing you know, we're singing It's an African Christmas or something like that.
What? Please write this down. You're helping me out.
Okay.
African Christmas sounds great.
I would just be honored to see it. Amber, you are so wonderful and you're so talented, and it's just been glorious to see, Black woman on this platform be able to do her own thing or on her own terms, head up a team and just trailblaze for, because I mean, there's lots of young ladies who are in the comedy game and think that there is nothing beyond, being the road or being a social media comedian. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but it gives them something additional to strive for, to see you in this place. If you could look back at, say, 10-year-old Amber, or whatever that age was when you first realized that, oh, you know what, I might be kind of funny, what would you tell that little girl that you know from your experience now?
I would tell her that her being goofy is not a minus, but a plus. Whenever someone goes, hey, be serious, they're wrong, and you're right. You were right to goof off all this time. It came in handy later in life.
Absolutely. We need these laughs because there's so much we could cry about. So we need all these laughs that you're providing to us. Amber, thank you so much for your time. I love the show. You definitely got a faithful viewer in me, and I'm ready for some more kikiing every week.
Great. I would dedicate that Christmas album to you.
I would be honored. Thank you so much for your time.
Better shake your booties for black girl nerves. Better shake your booties for black girl nerves.